My name is Mervin Hochstetler. I own a trucking company, and I'm from Vermontville, Michigan, which is close to Lansing, Michigan. So lower Michigan.
What's your trucking company called?
It's called Build Masters Trucking. We're just a small company. You probably haven't heard of us, but we do travel all 48 states.
They'll have heard of you after this.
Yeah.
And what are we looking at here?
You're looking at a mini big rig. It is built on a 2000 F250 chassis. The chassis has been stretched 3.5 feet to accommodate the proportionally right. It has a 7.3 power stroke diesel, 6-speed manual transmission, got air ride suspension on the back. It's a fully air ride like a semi. It has a leveling valve to accommodate the different weights of your load, so it automatically adjusts for the weight just like a semi would. It has an air cylinder for the park brakes because it is a manual transmission. That air cylinder activates the air brakes, the park brakes for the truck. Otherwise, it only drives on the front axle. The rear axle is a F250 axle, but it does not drive. But I do have brakes on the rear axle for additional braking power.
And this is like a 1/8 fender instead of a quarter fender.
Yeah. And I can pull my fifth wheel with it. I can also pull bumper hitch trailers with it. I do have a rear view camera, so I can hook up to a trailer real easily. That goes to a readout in my dash. This is what I ended up calling my truck. It's a dream chaser. It's a dream of mine, and I'm chasing that dream. It does have a rear view camera up top that stays live all the time, and that kind of serves as a rear view mirror because I can't really, can't do a rear view mirror.
Yeah, you need
to the truck.
Yeah, to get.
So it makes it way easy to hook up. Otherwise, it'd be difficult to hook this truck up to a trailer.
Did you completely build this yourself?
I did. I built. Well, let me rephrase this a little bit. So, Little Big Rig out of Nashville, Tennessee, builds a kind of like a kit, and in that kit, I got the fenders, I got the cab, I got the hood, I got the tanks, I got the stacks, breathers, battery boxes, mirrors, sun visor, and a front bumper from Little Big Rig. The rest of it is kind of unique because, like these light bars, he does not offer those. Rims, tires, you got to figure out what you like as far as a rim tire. Those are a 10-inch wide rim, so it kind of gives it a super single look.
And you provide your own frame too.
Right. So the chassis of the truck is you buy a donor vehicle, which mine was a 2000 F250 two-wheel drive with a power stroke diesel 6-speed transmission. And like I said, I stripped it down, I stretched it. I took everything out. You got to pull the wiring harnesses out of the truck, and you got to reuse everything because the cab comes completely bare. There's no pedals in it. There's no steering wheel. There's no floor. There's no nothing in this when you build it. So you gotta set the cab up with everything. And then I'll pop the hood here, and then we'll take a look at the powerhouse. So you grab her by the horns. You open her up, and there she is. Pretty much, you got your radiator, you got your fan. We had to rectify. We had to make everything fit. Everything was really tight to make it work because this is a much shorter hood than what a Ford does. I had to move the whole engine and transmission back to make it fit. Everything else is like you say, this is the original wiring harnesses that came out of the original truck. These are the original computers. Just got to figure out where you can fit it, where the wires still reach, and it works for you.
And this has got to be a whole lot easier to work on than a pickup.
Oh yeah. At this point, you don't have the fenders interfering. This is still the original motor that came with the chassis. I've got about 200,000 miles on the engine now. Since I built the truck, I've put about 20,000 miles on it. So I built the truck. I started driving it a year ago, and And I put about 10,000 miles on it last year through the whole summer. And then since I started driving in April, I put about 10,000 miles on it this year now.
Where do you take it? Shows?
I
Camping?
go camping, I go shows, and I use it for work. I pull a gooseneck trailer and I haul equipment and stuff for that. So I say it has to earn its keep. So that's why I put it to work.
Yeah, it pays the bills.
Yep. And right here, they call this a battery box, and that is what it is. It's a battery box.
A little baby battery box. So it's not so simple as just buying a kit. You have to know what you're doing.
No, you just get enough from the kit to make it. And also, these stacks are actually hooked up. Both stacks actually work, and both fuel tanks actually work. They're 35-gallon tanks each, so you have about 70 gallons of fuel capacity on the truck.
What sort of mileage does it get?
I get somewheres around, if I'm running empty, 15. If I'm pulling it, it varies. But,
About the same as the truck.
About the same as the truck. About 10 to 12, depending how hard I'm pulling.
Well, let's take a look inside. I'm curious what it looks like.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Let's see here. We can look.
Other side?
Yeah, let's go to the other side. I do not have the interior all done. There's still a little bit to be done on the interior. Outside of that, it's about done. I put a wooden floor in it. Here's the manual transmission. I have the clutch, the brake, and the gas down low. Here's my overhead strobe lights here. I do have the original Ford instrument cluster. I chose to reuse that instead of cutting more wires and adding aftermarket gauges.
That looks cool.
Yeah, it turned out good. Put an old school fan in it. That on top is my cameras for the back. It kind of looks like a GPS, but that's actually my camera. I have a CB radio in it, so I can talk to the truckers as we're going, and that's always an interesting conversation.
I think my Mini Cooper is wider than this.
Yeah. Then I'll open the back door.
These look like comfy seats, though.
Yeah, they are. They are actually pretty decent. And then different people do different things with the sleeper area. I got 2 doors, put 3 bucket seats in. We have 3 kids, so it works well when we go camping. Everybody has a seat for themselves. And I don't ever go out overnight with it. And if I do, I normally have a camper, so I really have no need for a bed.
Right.
So we can utilize the seats a lot better. There are guys that will put a sleeper in them and do that. But the problem with a sleeper, if you don't put a side door, the cab is kind of narrow. You don't have much room between the seats to enter the sleeper from the front. So that is kind of the downfall. If you build one and don't have the back doors, they are kind of tight to enter.
What are your plans for the interior?
I'm just going to do the Peterbilt style.
Diamond tuck or something?
I can buy the stuff online. It'll be kind of like a checkered, Peterbilt style interior. I'll buy the backer and I'm going to go with something kind of like the seats are, black and red. It kind of follow that contour. Yes. So a little bit of burgundy and black. So I think that'll go well with the scheme I got going. But it was fun to build and more fun to drive.
Since you have a trucking company, I'm guessing that you're pretty mechanically inclined.
I am, yes.
Where did you come up with the idea? Did you discover you could get the kit and you just went, I want one of those?
I did. I seen another guy at a truck show about 7-8 years ago, and he had one of these. I was like, I got to have one of these. I asked some questions, and I contacted Little Big Rig, and took a while after that, but it's about a 2-year wait to get a kit.
Oh, wow.
And then it's however long it takes you to build one after that.
Did they send them to you painted, or did you have to paint it too?
You have to paint it. So you can paint it your color scheme. All my trucks are black. So, I had other color ideas, but at the end of the day, you can see I went to black. Yeah.
Was it like putting a puzzle together, sort of, in a way?
Yeah, every wire, every hose. I mean, you picked a wire and you figured out where it needed to go, what it did, and you picked a hose, and it was one piece at a time.
And before anyone asks, no, you won't build them and sell them.
That is right. Maybe someday I'll sell this one. I actually do have another kit on order, but I don't know when I'll get it done. I just wanted to get it. The gentleman that built these cabs is 80 years old, and I'm not sure if he has plans for his company, if something were to happen to him. So I wanted to buy another kit because I do want to build one someday. Build another one.
And every mini truck I've seen like this, it's been the situation of you have to build it yourself because it doesn't exist.
Pretty much. I've seen a few on a couple of pages that I'm on Facebook that are like mini truck cages. A lot of them range, well over $100,000 to $160,000 for the people that want to sell it.
Because it's a lot of work.
It is. It's a lot of money. You got to buy the donor vehicle. You've got to buy the kit, and then so there's a lot of parts that you got to buy, and a lot of man hours.
Does it have air conditioning?
Oh yeah, yep. Air conditioning, heat.
Horns?
Oh yeah.
Did you have to find those, or did they come in the kit?
I know. I had to find all the lights. The kit came with no lights, no horns, the antennas. I mean, all that stuff is personal touch.
Yeah, you can put your own twist on them still.
Right. Like that emblem right there. And that's what's nice about it. He doesn't sell you all that stuff. So everybody starts with the same thing, but you end up with something different.
Exactly.